All right, I'm gonna stream live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just wait for the cue.
Okay. And we are live. Welcome everyone to the Help Me Rhonda show. Today's topic is launching like a boss. Let's get started. You are not going to want to miss this show, especially if you are here inside of our little studio. You can always join us live on Unstoppable Mama's Facebook page for the Help Me Rhonda show, where we interact more deeply over there. But guys, welcome to today's show. I am Help Me Rhonda. No, I'm not Help Me Rhonda. This is the Help Me Rhonda show. I'm Rhonda Swan, your hostess with the mostest, and the CEO and founder of the Unstoppable Branding Agency and the Sexy Brand Building Formula programs, where we help our clients create a sexy brand and turn them into profit-making machines. This show right here that you are on is not only going to help you grow your business, share your impact more deeply to the world, but also change other people's lives with your gifts. That's what a sexy brand is. So absolutely love this, having the show. And if you are also, you could be listening on our podcast, always remember, come over to us live. But I want, as you're coming in and you are joining me, please share where you are coming from. Where do you live? What does your weather look like? Take a picture and post it, because I love so much. Like here we are in Bali. Like I'm in my Bali office. If you're watching, okay, check this out. So if you guys are live, you are seeing my little unicorn floating in our pool. We've got a big floating unicorn in our pool. I'm in here in my office, and one of my dogs is laying on the floor. So just in case Oreo decides to get up and bark at somebody, just get ready, because it happens all the time. Bali dogs are inevitable. But this is what I love the most about being and having, living like what I call, and my family calls a freedompreneur, is that you can live wherever you want. And that's what being a freedompreneur is, and having a sexy brand. It's someone that totally knows who they are, what they do, and you can do it however you want to do it, right? And so we live in Bali, and many of you guys live somewhere all over the world. So please tell me again where you come from, and tag someone that will feel value, or that you believe can gain some value from today. I am a straight up kind of gal. I teach you, I give you my best strategies that I've ever utilized to grow not only a massive brand and an empire. We have literally sold over $50 million worth of products online exclusively, and in the last 24 months, it keeps growing now, we keep popping them up, we have launched over 108 new brands and products for our clients through our programs and through my one-on-one coaching programs, where we help our clients truly take their art from their heart and package it up and launch like a boss. That's today's topic. All right, so if you guys are on the live stream, let us know where you're coming in from again, and let's launch like a boss. All right, so let's get to the topic at hand today, right? Now, many of you, I can imagine there are, all of you can put yourself in a space where you have had to launch something, right? Now, what I'm going to share with you though today, I have to put this out there now. What I'm going to share with you today will literally give you the insights of exactly how to launch like a boss, how to get prepared for releasing and launching your product or your program to your audience or to your clients. But more importantly, how to gain over 200% more in your sales in the first 48 hours. This is the kicker. This is where most people fail. But I have to get all agreements that what I teach you in my shows and what I teach you as my strategy, that of course you give me credit, right? Because anytime you learn something, give me some credit. Say you just learned this. More importantly is this. Everything I show you must be utilized only for good, right? It cannot be used for manipulation, only for products or programs or systems that are for good, right? They'll actually help other people's lives, help them grow, okay? No manipulation or any product or service that can actually hurt someone, okay? We have to agree on that. Say yes below. I agree. All right, now next is, I'm going to put you on a futurescape moment. I'm sure all of you have been in a spot where you've actually had to launch something, right? And many of you are actually in that position because you watch me. We talk about building sexy brands, products, programs, and launching, right? We've all been in the place where we have to make an offer or launch a product. Now, how many of us And I can imagine you've been in that space of like, okay, I know I need to do it, but what do I do? What do I actually do next, right? Because you see people online and they're launching their new programs. They've got new books. They've got new digital courses. They're bringing clients into events. Like, how in the heck are they doing it? And you're going, dang it, if I could just take every piece of that puzzle and put it together, I would have like the perfect puzzle. But what happens? We end up grabbing pieces of puzzles, and then we've got no face on our puzzle, right? Something happens where you didn't get enough of the nuggets. You didn't go so deep inside, and they didn't give you all the nuggets. That happens all the time, right? I can imagine we've all been there. So what I'm going to talk to you and share with you today is the exact preparation strategy that you will need and require to actually launch like a boss, right? That's what we do. And it's really understanding who and what you do. And so I'm going to go through those top 5 structures and strategies today. And then I'm going to show you more detail, right, of how to plan and really truly launch so that you are strong in front of your audience. And at the very, very end, I'm going to invite you to join us into our 30-day challenge because it starts July 1st. And I'm giving you all of this inside of there. So stay tuned. Don't go away from this live. All right, how many of you guys are ready to rock and roll? I'm seeing many of you joining me here live. It's great. Again, share, share, share. Tag people, love them. Give me some love. Give me some hearts because, baby, I'm going to let this one roll today. All right? I love it. Okay, good. Excellent. Great to see all of you. Okay, so let's get started, right? Good to see you. Okay, great. We've got lots of people. Charlotte, we got Australia in the house. We got New York in the house. And people are moving in consistently. Great. Okay, I'm going to keep my phone here, and just in case you guys have some more specific questions, we got a lot of people on the live stream, and many of you guys are in here in our private studio. So always know, those in the private studio, if a question comes up for you, write it down, put it in the chat box, and I'll get to that at the very end. Okay, so, right, we've all been there. We've all had to launch. And how do we get ourselves started? Well, there's 5 commonalities. In fact, I've been researching, and I work with a lot of different people, and I see the way that they launch their products and their programs. Now, let's get real first. You have to decide, right? How do I want to actually launch something? How do I actually want to get it in front of the world? So there's different options. If you are a coach, consultant, or professional, you can either get in front of people, right, and talk about it and launch it with them or talk and share. Or if you are digital and online or marketer or a service provider that wants to create and share their product and services online, right? We've got to get very clear on how I'm going to do that. Now, when I just recently actually had a question from someone, they said, hey, I love what you do, but I really don't want to do that. How do I launch really strong? I'm like, well, look, if you came to Donald Trump, not a great actually person to say, but let's just say, right? You came to, how about Jeff Bezos, right? The founder of Amazon, better. And you said, hey, Jeff, I want to launch like a boss. I actually want to create a financial empire. I want to create an empire that's got legacy and a brand, and I want to become a billionaire, okay? And Jeff Bezos says to you, hey, cool, Rhonda, no problem. In order to become a billionaire, you have to do these 5 things. These 5 things. And you said, oh, cool, Jeff. Well, I like that, but I kind of don't like number 4. I don't really love number 3, so I'm going to do those 3. What do you think Jeff Bezos is going to say? Just be real. He's going to go, get out of Dodge. If you want to be a billionaire, if you want to know what it takes, you've got to do every step that it takes to do it, right? And I learned this lesson the hard way early on, right? I got real clever. I'm like, look, I'm creating my first course. I'm going to create my first structures, and I'm going to launch it. Well, I actually didn't do all of the steps. And what happened? I failed miserably. In fact, I didn't have a plan to take every single day. And so I was hoping and thinking about what I wanted to do every day and hoping, and I was literally running myself in a circle. I felt like I was stressing out. I was trying to constantly think of what I should be doing next. And this is why I put together a structure and a plan to not only help myself, my clients, everyone that ever watches or works with me, launch like a boss, but confidently. And in the beginning, there's a lot that goes on, and you have to create the foundation. But I'm telling you right now, when you have the foundation of all that you need to launch every time you're going to launch like a boss. You get that? And so that question that came through to me the other day, I said, well, that's interesting, because if you don't want to do what I say to do, but you want the results that I've got, I'm just kind of wondering how you think you're going to get them. Silence, right? How many of you have ever had and been in radio silence? Especially if you're a coach, like people like, I want to get what you have. But if you're not willing to do what we teach or what we do, then how do you expect to have the results that we've got? So I want to bring that out to everyone here, especially if you're listening on the podcast, and think about how many times have you actually done that, right? So when I replied and said, well, it sounds like then you just need this, right? And I gave them what I thought that they just needed. I still was thinking, wow, how interesting is that? They love my life. They love what I do. They want everything that I've got. They've read my book. They followed my structure, or they follow what I do. But I just don't want to do that one element. I'm like, well, that one element is actually the crux of how to actually not only launch any type of product or program. And I'm going to guarantee my results here, right? Guarantee my results that you will launch a product or a program, right, like a boss, if you follow the exact steps. I did a call the other day, and this is really powerful, is that 90%, did you guys know that 90% of people that actually buy a digital course, like an education program, 90% of them never even open it. 90%. And of the ones that open it, only 73% of them actually go through it, and even a portion of it. And out of that last 7 or 8%, right, the 27%, only 8% complete it, but they still say they didn't do it all. And only 2% of them actually finish a course. See, this is, and I want you to be aware of this is powerful stuff. If you are a coach, consultant, or you're launching, you want to launch like a boss, you got to understand those numbers. Do you get that? Do you realize that now we're working against ourselves just with the digital online world? And so now we've got to get crafty and smart. We can't just go, cool, let me do this, launch this product, let me throw it out there, and then you're upset and you quit because it doesn't work. Do you get that you've got to become very strategic in how you are now preparing yourself and delivering your information? And that's what I do the best. That's why we have got a track record grander and bigger than anyone that can consistently create products and programs and launch it. And I'm not ever relying on all of the new technology, right? You're not always relying on that. So what we're going to do today, and I'm going to go through this, the 5 main elements. You guys with me on this, by the way? Who's with me on this and is following, is picking up when I'm dropping down, all right? Because I tell you, we understand this piece, and there's a lot that's going to change for you. All right, so I'm going to start a watch party over there. Okay. So remember, those of you that are inside the peanut gallery, make sure that you hold your questions, and I will be able to answer them. Great, good to see you. Okay, all right, let's start here, okay? We're gonna start with number 1. And in order to launch like a boss, there's one main key element, okay? And I'm gonna open up some slides in a moment, so hold tight. Is the invisible difference. Now, this is the invisible difference that I was talking about when this woman came to me and said, I just want to launch, I don't want to do everything. I thought, well, hell, how are you actually connecting with them now? How are you actually creating an invisible difference, sharing your message, what it is that you do or your product or your service does that doesn't make them feel sold, okay? And we call this invisible difference, what you're doing on the front end before the back end actually even happens. See, in launching a product, there's a front end or back end. It's what you do on the front, what you do on the back. Now, the back end has everything to do with technology, setups, funnels, all of that stuff, right? That's the deeper part. But the front end is vitally important, if not the most important piece. If you're not doing the front end, the back end doesn't matter. And what I see often, especially those that are in the ClickFunnels world, and they are, and I love ClickFunnels, don't get me wrong, Russell's a friend of mine, we've done a lot of work with Russell. But this is what happens. They get in the ClickFunnels world, and all they're doing is building the funnel. And guess what they forget? The invisible difference. Now, what is the invisible difference? If anyone were to think, I'm going to ask you here if you're live and if you're on the podcast, what do you think an invisible difference could be to your audience? Give me some feedback. What do you think the invisible difference actually is? Because I tell you, if you get this piece, you will completely transform what you do. The invisible difference, I'm going to go back to my phone over here so I can see where you guys are at. All right. Okay, good. Okay. The invisible difference is what you're doing on the front end. It's how you're sharing your content. Now, for our world, when we're doing digital marketing, we utilize the strongest platform to deliver your messages. Right now, it's Facebook Lives. Facebook Lives, you can do Instagram Lives, whatever that might be, of course, in ads, right? But Facebook, okay, just flat out Facebook. Now, there's two things, right? If you're launching like a boss, and you either have one of these two things. Let's talk about it. Does anyone know what we either have? One of each two things that helps us when we're launching. Okay, you either have money, and I'm saying this, or you've got time. Okay, you either have money or you have time. Money means I've got money to put towards ads. Time means I've got time to do everything organic. Now, you can either choose ads only and time only. What if you put them together, right? Perfect combination. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you only do money only, you're going to miss about 50% of your sales. Why would that even happen? See, because if you're only going for Facebook ads and you're just going for putting your ads in front of people, then what happens? You're actually losing the connection piece. This is why we do money and we do time, right? We do Facebook Lives. We give people our content. Now, especially in the beginning, well, I'm going to go a little bit deeper in this. I'm just trying to find one of my pages over here for you guys. You can see where you guys are. There I am. Okay. So in the beginning, if you are trying to launch like a boss, you are not doing connection, invisible difference work, right? Invisible difference, Facebook Lives, connection, not selling, literally giving people value. What happens is this: psychologically, we train the buyer, or we train your audience to actually fall into know, like, and trust. Basic, super basic marketing. But most people forget this piece, and then they fall into the trap of just going for the money, just going for the ads. Okay? So now, can you create invisible difference with ads? Okay, I'm going to answer that because everyone always asks that. Of course you can, but you have to have a lot more money. That means that you've got to have bits of content that are constantly in front of people's face. You're constantly gaining the trust of your audience, constantly gaining the trust. Now, how many of you are actually doing that, where you are just running on ads and you're constantly gaining the trust of your audience? Most people in the beginning, I'll be straight up, if you are just going that route, you're going to lose a lot of people. So in the beginning, right, or even like right now, I've been launching products. What happened here? Did my screen just get funny? Ah, there we go. Cool. I was like, my screen just did something really weird to me. There I am. All right. And in the beginning, guys, and even right now, I still do this. If you're not creating a visible difference with your audience, you're going to lose them, right? Because they're not trusting you. There's that old, Perry Marshall actually did this, and he talked about trust, right? Know, like, and trust. Now, this is part of the attraction marketing model. But if you want to launch something, how do you, even big brands, they keep their content in front of you at all times. So you're getting that? They keep their content all the time in front of you, so that when it launches, they're like, oh, I really want that, right? It's the same regard and the same steps that we take when we're actually launching an online product or an online program, all right? So, okay, cool. I'm there. Now I'm back. Cool. Are you guys getting this? Who's with me right now? So with the invisible difference, I'm actually just trying to find you guys on the phone because I'm trying to get to interact with you all. So I was running a launch party and it took me out of it. All right, there we are. There you guys are. Awesome. Okay. Yay. Good, good, good. Okay, good. Relationships. Thank you. Now I'm back. Relationships, Maya. Absolutely. I mean, literally, creating the invisible difference is for you, Maya, let's say, because I know she does, you do, what is it called again? Nonprofit, right? She's teaching them how to generate money for your nonprofit. Well, if you're just trying to send an ad to someone, now there's an awareness scale, right? So what the invisible difference does, it actually increases the awareness scale in your audience. Means the awareness scale is like this. At the very top, we're totally aware. At the very bottom, we're not aware at all. So there's a point in where you have to inject where people are problem aware, they're solution aware, product aware, and then they're totally aware. Most people that you're connecting with are in the problem aware mode. But if you have not created any invisible difference that actually wakes up there and enlightens them that, oh my gosh, I need this or I have this problem, they're never going to get to that space. This is where the invisible difference, before you even open the doors. Now, this is a 4-week process, right? Before you even open the doors, you need to be creating some type of invisible difference, meaning you're either going in front of people's faces, you're dropping consistent content like here on Facebook, doing lives, educating people, going on all the social platforms, going to meetings, talking about what you do. If you're not doing this and you're only working on the money side, you're going to spend a lot of it. See, I'm all about helping our brands become sexy and sellable, right? Sexy and sellable, not spending and wasting a ton of money. We work heavy on ROI because what we do is measurable, right? But in the beginning, and even in the end or in the middle, invisible difference will help you increase the rate of your sales rate. You guys with me on this? Yeah, awesome. Okay, there you guys go. Now I'm getting some interaction. Give some love and hearts. Let me know if you're loving this. All right, next is gain trust and bring them into your world. All right. Now, this is where that front end starts to happen. Gaining trust and bringing them into your world, right? That means either creating a Facebook group, bringing them into, let's say, a lead magnet, or they're in your world. See, the front end, you're not selling it. You're actually bringing them into content. So if you have a lead magnet, meaning a giveaway of some sort, videos, ebook, download, whatever that might be, now they're in your world, but then that allows the back end to work. That's where that technology side, why we want funnels, why they work, is because it allows you to keep doing front end invisible different stuff while we're letting the systems work, okay? Do you get that? That's why we create and bring them into our world. Why is that? Think about it. You know, the amount of people that are looking at YouTube, looking at Facebook, the amount of ads, the distraction. We are trying to buy attention right now. So how do we increase our attention rate or our conversion rate? Is we got to bring them into our world, right? Because now we've got people that are liking our content. We're delivering them content. Okay, next is obviously creating an irresistible offer. Now, I did a show last week about the structure of the irresistible offer. And what I love so much, this is so cool, is after that show, there was about 10 people that reached out to me. 10 people that said, oh my gosh, I never realized what I wasn't doing, what I didn't know about creating an offer. I was like, what? Whoa. And sure enough, just last week alone, one of our clients is signing 3 different 10K contracts. Several others are actually launching their webinars today. Some are launching them last week. They're putting together finally a strategy and a structure that yields someone moving forward, leaning in. If you don't have an irresistible offer, but you've got a great pitch, and you might be a great person, but this is what happens why people end up failing. They stop doing webinars. They stop launching because they have one bad failure because their offer wasn't clear. Are you guys getting this? Who's with me on this? I want to get some feedback from you because their offer wasn't clear. The more clear you are, grunt, testable message, the more people are ready to move forward into your world. Does that make sense? So now we bring them into our world. Then we have an irresistible offer. This is the gig though. You've got to know what they need and what they want. You got to give them what it is that they actually want. They don't always know that they need your course, but they know what they want. So when we create an offer, we just say, I'm just giving you what you want. I know what you need. So let me give you an example. You guys, if you've watched me at all, you know how I roll. And how I roll is literally teaching and showing you all along the way what I do. So I'm running a 30-day challenge, right? Now I know everyone they all want my 2 Comma Club funnel, right? Why I've gotten 2 of those. They want all of my strategies of how to develop a brand and tell your message. You know what they need? I know what you need. You actually need help in structure. So I don't teach, I'm going to give you structure because you're like, I don't care about structure. I just want to make money. I want to have how you've sold $50 million online. How? That's what you want. So you got to give them what they want because you know what they need. Are you with me? Is this making sense? Because this right here alone, everyone, will totally transform how you do things. Because of so many people in the online space, they're constantly just trying to give people what they want to give them. You got to get super clear. And as a business owner, getting really clear on what it is that you do and knowing what they want, but giving them what they want, but knowing what they need, now you become more attractive, right? Your brand becomes more real to them. So instead of them searching for someone else, they're searching for you. Are you with me on this? Excellent. Yeah, good. Okay, let's get some more of this juice inside of here. Nice. All right, excellent. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm reading for you guys' comments. Good, good. We got lots of people on here. Okay, right? Next is the sales process, okay? In order to launch like a boss, you have to know what your sales process is. So let's talk about some of those options, right? What is your sales process? Are you bringing people into a live webinar? Are you bringing them into something that's recorded? Are you bringing them into a personal one-on-one? Are you coming into an event or a retreat or bringing a group of audience? You have to know what your sales process is, okay? And you have to be able to stick with that sales process. This is one of the biggest failures. Someone goes, okay, cool, I'm gonna do it live and I'm just gonna launch it. But then they have no sales process on the front end. And the biggest kicker, they have no follow-up. So your sales process and your follow-up strategy has to be aligned with exactly how they're following. It's got to be congruent with the steps that they're following with you. If you are not and don't have a replay strategy, a email strategy, a bot, and being able to physically call them, you have to know exactly what your follow-up plan is. These 5 steps alone, if you actually structure this out, you will then be able to tighten it up and rinse and repeat and launch every time clearly. Everyone launches, but most of them fail because they go here, oh, I've been doing lives, I got invisible difference, I'm kicking it, woo. Then they're like, okay, I brought them into my world, they're in my group, right? And then I've got my offer down, but usually the offer's not clear. That's the number one kicker, is usually the offer just isn't clear, okay? People are completely, yeah, this is good, awesome, you guys are great. It's just not clear. So this is where the failures happen. And let's just figure out, how many of you, where's your failure live in the 5? Put down in the comments, because you're live. If you're in the podcast, let's answer this. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Where have you failed at? Typically, the offer's not clear. 1 and 2 is easy. Typically, the offer's not clear. And then the sales process is a little choppy, but you usually nail it because you do a webinar or you do something. So usually the sales process or the follow-up. This is, who would imagine, the 2 biggest failures, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, yeah, Catherine, that is exactly where most people fail. Usually it's the offer's bad and the follow-up plan is flat. Like 0 follow-up plan, because you know you need emails, but you don't know what to say, you don't know how frequently to put them together, and you certainly forget to give everyone the replay, and then you're doing it manually, right? Makes you nuts, right? And the biggest one of the follow-up, number 5 after follow-up, it's the script. It's actually knowing what to say on the phone. How many of you would love to have and want a sales script that I use to close 92% of every person I get on the phone with for a high ticket offer, and I close them at 100%? Would you like that? You're on the virtual and you're not live. This is when you want to be here live. Would you like that? Because I have an exact sales script that I use. Yeah, Catherine Ann, she's like, I know it works, Mama, because she uses it. Catherine Ann's in one of our Sexy Brand Building Formula 12-week program. She used it and she closed a few $3,000 sales brilliantly, right? I want it. Yay, we got lots of wanters, right? These 5 steps here alone will give you the exact process of how to launch like a boss. But if you're missing 3 and 5, flat. And this is exactly why most people are failing online, and why when they do try to launch products, they go for just money only, meaning you're throwing a bunch of money at ads, and then you're not putting enough time in to create invisible difference, gain know, like, and trust, and bring them into your world. Because maybe you don't even have funnels, right? That sometimes can be a problem for most. In the beginning, like, you can use a group, but if you don't have the right sales process and the funnel set up, they're not in your world for very long, are they? This is why there's such a strong amount of failures online, because you're only doing the first front end of the puzzle. Does that make sense? Okay, yes, we got some people that want the scripts. Yes, I want it. Okay, I want you guys to get ready. I'm actually going to show my screens. I've got a couple things I want to show you that are based on this. If you're willing and open, stick around for 12 more minutes, and I'm going to walk you through the process. And then I'll show you how you can get that script, because I know you guys want it. I know you want it, but I also know what you need. You see how fun this is? Guys, this is what makes freaking knowing what you do so well so fun, doesn't it? Like when you just know what you know what your people love, you know what they want, you totally know what they need. Easy, right? So easy to connect. And then you can have fun with it. Everyone gets so frustrated and so serious. Have fun with what you're doing. You know why? Because it's enjoyable. And then you keep doing it because you love it. That's what I love to do in the show. Yeah, exactly. Also, I love this, Donald. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So this is the deal. This is how we run it. It's called the VVO strategy. I'm not going to teach it. I'm going to show you, where you literally are creating that invisible difference without even realizing it. And Gary Vee calls it the jab, jab, right hook, right? We call it the VVO strategy because it allows you to say, I know what you need. And then you give them the invisible difference the whole way through. Right? And then it's that intangibles that they realize how much they dig you. And that is meaning connecting at the vision, the passion level, the values level, stories, integrity, the why, transparency, right? This is when people start to love you. Now, then we get into the runway to the money, right? The invisible difference is broken into 3 different sections. It's value, offer, 1, 2, and 3. Right? And I give you the exact steps inside of, we have a 30-day challenge that we run that I do this exact how to launch like a boss. I'm changing the challenge. What do you guys think? Should I change the how to launch like a boss 30K and 30-day challenge? I think that's my new name because I just dig it so much. And the lips, of course, makes it super, very my brand. All right. So this is how we run it. There's a section in each of them of exactly the type of content you need to provide inside of it, right? We know we base everything on the awareness scale. Week 1 is part of the awareness scale at the lowest level. Then we have to move in and we have to communicate with them in a psychological level, fear and logic. The way you communicate in your lives have to touch on the fear and the logic, the pain and the pleasure. Right? So this is what I teach you while we're inside of our 30-day challenge, how to launch like a boss. But this is our process. This is what I do with all my private clients. The way you communicate has to touch on fear and logic in week 2. Because now we've created the Pied Piper. Right? Do you remember that story, Pied Piper? They're like, I'm ready to go. And you're moving them into, I'm coming to this awesome event because you're going to teach me everything you know. That's what this is about. Creating that runway to the money, where you're literally just walking like, yes, I'm launching like a boss. And it's not because you're being cocky. It's because you're being so confident, because you know what you do. You know your work is going to change their life. Now, if you're only watching this on the live or on the recording, better take a snapshot of this because it's going away. Next is the webinar follow-up email sequence. Ladies and germs, I know everyone's like, email's dead. You still need it. But it's also the similar sequence now that we use in messenger bots. Right, using a messenger bot. Because messenger bots right now, we're getting a 90% open rate. So that's what we've now implemented and included of how to now not only plan a killer webinar, but to connect with them through your messenger bot so that they're already opening your messages. You increase your show up rate and your closing rate by over 70%, even more than that right now. John Cord is one of our experts that's inside of our program. He teaches it. Right? So this is what we need to do within our webinars and our follow-ups. Right? And this is the process that we work through, giving 60-second teasers when you're doing a webinar setup. We're providing them with value. You're getting them in the inside. Right? This is the whole sequence in the follow-up. This is our exact follow-up that we use. Now I'm going to ask you, are you doing this? Are you giving them the lead magnet? Does your lead magnet communicate with them? If you're running with money and you're running ads, which you should be, are your ads congruent with what you're talking about? Are they seeing you in a social setting where you're not just selling, you're having fun, you're educating them? This is how we lead up into a webinar, right? This is the exact process that we use, right? Where we got the lead magnet, they're registering, they're confirming, we give them a little pre-training right before the webinar starts. You get them live, and then boom, if you're failing in number 3 and number 5, this is not gonna work, right? This is not gonna work. But if you are nailing number 3, and then you learn number 5, which means the closing sequence, the webinar replays, how to get them back in engagement, right? Get them on the phone and close them. It's the biggest one. And I say this often because I talk about offers. And for us in our world, in our sexy brand building world, an offer has to be about the result, okay? You guys with me on this? It's got to be about the result. I see this frequently, and it's okay because you're new. Most are actually closing consistently, not on a result. They're closing on a feature to a benefit. And what's going on, right? The feature to the benefit is just losing people because unless they realize the outcome, the destination, the result that they're going to get from you, they're not connecting because all you're doing is selling. Do you get that? Anyone that's getting ready to do a webinar or launch, you've got to show them the results that they're going to get. Like, as you know, when I'm here talking, I'm saying I'm going to give you guys our script because our scripts close. And Catherine Ann jumped in and said, it worked. I used her script and I closed $2,000, $3,000 sales. See, those are proof. That's results, right? And this is what you have to make sure that you're doing. People need to see that. You need to know how to structure the offer, right? This is what we do. We structure the offer right. Your pricing model's got to be strong because we also know this, that 80% of our income is coming from 20% of our current customers. So if you are launching like a boss and you're not addressing the needs of the current audience, where you're providing a value-based product or structure or offer that your current audience says, I need that too, you're losing 80% of your income. So in my opener was how do you increase in 200% when you're launching? It's because you cater to the current customer. See, what we do in our world is we bring them into our world and keep them as clients and customers for life. You know, setting up your promo schedule. Like, this is the stuff that we do, and this is why we've got 2 of these, one still in the Orlando airport, and we're working on our 3rd, and my daughter's also working on her own. It's because we understand this, and because I've been around for a long time. And when you are going back and you're asking Jeff Bezos that question, he says, do 5 things, are you willing to do it? Right? Are you willing to actually do it? Because all of these people here they've done it, and they've actually increased their revenue and they've increased their value. And I've been alluding to this quite often because everyone's, always wonders, well, how can I work with you? And it's not always possible for everyone. And that's why I'm creating this, we're opening this now, we're going to call it Launch Like a Boss 30K in 30 Day Challenge, that we follow what's called the MAPS, right? Like mentorship, accountability, peer support, and systems. Because remember when I said in the beginning that 90% of people don't even open a digital course? I stopped selling digital courses years ago because I wanted to create a result. So what we've done is we've coupled and created a process, a methodology on how to launch like a boss, how to give people all your best details of how to really make it happen in a digital format, a video format. But we've also now coupled mentorship, accountability, peer support, and systems. We're actually giving it all to you inside of our challenge. Now, value at this, what we do is 10 grand. Hands down, it's 10 grand because I give everyone funnels. I give everyone everything I've actually got. But what I did this time has been different. 2 months now, I've run this thing called this 30K in 30 Days Challenge. It's a mastermind program where every day I give you what to do each day, how to do it, because I was in Russell Brunson's book. If you lost everything, what would you do to get back on track? And I turned it into my own book and my own product. And I'm like, well, again, 90% aren't going to open it and 73% aren't going to make it through half. How do I increase that? I'm not selling digital courses anymore. I'm actually selling and bringing you into a mastermind where every day you've got hundreds of people working the same launch process, nailing down these top 5. And every day we've got 4 live calls that we host every month. Every single Sunday we kick the week off. Then we close with my show at the end of the week. And then you're interacting, right? This today, guys, is completely transforming the way people are launching and they're changing their business. I've seen it. I've seen people that have never made sales making sales because they're actually following a process that they can actually do. You guys with me on this one? Yeah? right? Who's gotten so much value from being part of this last challenge? So what we do here differently is most talk about the why and the who. We talk about the how and the what, right? So that we increase our success rate. And we have 100% success rate of anyone that works through this process in this program. And if you don't execute, you fail. That's the difference. So this is what we're doing in this guy is we actually start again on July 1st. And I'm giving you 30 days of video instruction every day, what to do. You're getting the workbook. You're getting my funnels, my 2 Comma Club funnels. We're giving you new funnels now this next round in July. We're actually creating new webinar funnels that are a lot easier to navigate. We've learned a few things on how to embed and integrate with Zoom. You're getting my 21-day launch plan strategy. And if you are so inclined, you get the audio of my best-selling book, Skills Are Cheap and Passion's Priceless. We're getting a new copy of that coming out, so you get access to that. Again, it's literally over 10 grand worth of value per month. But I'm ridiculous. I'm ridiculous because I want a third one of these 2 Comma Club funnels. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll know what that is, a 2 Comma Club award. I'm pointing at it. It's where you've made $1 million from a funnel. So I decided to do something silly and give away my best work for $99 a month. And all you do is you can join for a month, you can join for 6 months, you can join for just 1 and drop out. But I walk you through every month, and now you're going to be part of this community that is literally growing through launching like a boss every single month. And they're getting better at these 5 things: invisible distance, gain and trust, in offers, sales process, and follow-up sequences. This is the juice, ladies and gents. This is why we've sold over 50 million online, right? Because we use a process. And I'm doing it ridiculously for $99. So it's called now the how to launch like a boss 30K in 30-day challenge. And again, $100, it doesn't even cover my hosting, right? It's $100 and it should be 10K. But again, like I said, I'm a little selfish in why I do it, because I actually want this third. I want to prove it. So you benefit. This is what we do, 4 weeks. And again, you guys can register at swanlinks.com. They'll drop the link here. And it's powerful. So this is what we do each week. This is what you learn. We give you a template how to set up your own webinar bots, private trainings from John Court, who's a freaking hilarious boss. He's teaching you bots and how to set them up for webinars. We've had several clients of ours had them set up by John. He's an incredible human being, and they are powerful. And this is why, because we're getting massive open rates and deliverabilities off the skyrocket charts. Week 3, we're talking about Facebook ads and how to use money to boost what you do by Kim Barrett. He's a powerhouse. He's awesome. You guys can watch that video later. And again, it's you get our launch plan, our follow. You'll get all of our follow-up email templates, our closing scripts. You get the script I talked about because I know you want it. And literally, if you just want the script, get it for $99. It's totally worth it. You'll get a ton of value in there. So this is what we do. We give 4 bonuses. One is 2 live trainings with industry experts. Joni Dillon is actually coming in to do, she's setting up your mindset. She's backing out all the limiting beliefs so that you can go clear and walk into your strength. Drop all the shit that's been holding you back. She's going to unwind us and unpack us next week on my show. So Joni Dillon's one. Then we're going to have messenger bot training. That's inside the course. Facebook ads trainings inside the course. And you get 4 live Q&A calls inside of our private group every single week and every Sunday. So again, just this alone is $5K. The total is like $10K value. You get all this juicy stuff for $99 because I know I'm crazy, but I love it. And for those of you guys that are you're joining, you can go to swanlinks.com, register. Now, this is the caveat and kicker. Some people are repeating. So now it's the repeaters cycle. You have to repeat in order to get all the juice, right? We're closing down the current membership site and only keeping the challenge members because we want to keep you in the conversation. So you don't get to keep the membership site. It is a challenge that we're running together, and then you can just keep repeating every month to stay in. Some people have asked, can I buy the course one-off? You can. We're going to sell the course for a lifetime for $297, but you got to get it first, and then we'll sell it to you for the lifetime value. Is that making sense? So if you guys only got just this training today on my show, would it be totally worth $99? I should have charged all that content on my show, right? But instead, I want to give it to you guys so you know exactly what you're doing, and then we can stay in the conversation. So it's $99 just for you. Again, you get all this, super amazing stuff. And I'm totally committed to helping you guys consistently launch like a boss, right? So if you're watching this on the replay, killer, join us. We close the doors on July 1st and we recycle. So make sure you go to swanlinks.com, click on 30-day challenge. You'll get all the deets again on there, and then you can register. You'll immediately be connected. You'll get the course. You'll get inside of our private Facebook group. We're starting a new one, so everyone will be invited to the new one as well. And then we're going to launch again together July 1st all the way through to the 3rd or the 4th week of the month. So you'll be launching again in July. Every single month, everyone's going to be launching together. This is how you start launching like a boss better, because you're all in the same pattern. That's where our MAPS comes from: mentorship, right? Accountability, right? Being able to have support, program and support and systems. That's what works. So let me get some feedback from you guys that are in here. I'm seeing some love over here. Oh man, nice. Some people had some big aha moments. I'm really happy to hear that. And if you're watching this, again, you can still join the challenge. You could just be a couple days behind, but make sure that you're joining it now, especially if you're watching this replay. We're all starting together at the first of every single month. And those of you that join right after, you'll still get the course. You just may not be inside of that early on group. So it's time for you guys to join. I'm really excited. Now, I'm going to ask you guys all this for the Help Me Rhonda show. I always close making sure I help you move your needle. Like everything that I do and teach, I want to make sure it moves your needle whether you join our programs or not. Because you're going to actually be one or two people. You're either going to say, yes, I'm that person. I'm so excited. I'm ready to change. And then you just don't take action. You're going to make excuses. You're going to say that the summer's here. You're going to say that my kids are busy. But can you imagine if your life could be like this? I'm in Bali. I do this every month. I launch my courses and my products like this every month. And I kick 30, 40, 50, 60K, 100Ks per month. If you could literally have someone giving you their best work, like Jeff Bezos gave you your 5 steps to take, would you do them? That's what I'm asking. Would you actually do it? Because I'm going to give you a 100% success rate. My seal to the kiss promise is that you're going to learn not only how to launch like a boss, you're going to have the structures that you need, because you don't know that you need the structures. But I'm going to give you what you want, which is my 2 Comma Club funnels. I'm going to give you the scripts of how to close people online. I'm going to give you my email template follow-ups. I'm going to give you the book chapter that I wrote in Russell Brunson's book. I'm going to give you my slide deck of exactly what to put in every slide to launch like a boss with a stack that's so irresistible that everyone leans in. Yeah? So that's what we're doing. If you guys are watching me, I just leaned in heavy. I put my eyes in there and said, I guarantee, I give you my trust. I will help you launch like a boss and help you generate 30K in 30 days in your business, be a better brand, be someone that's better, more contributing, have better impact, bigger impact on your life and on your family's life. And your business now is like, people are flooding in. That's what we do in our sexy brand building world, right? We've got mentorship programs. So this is literally a 30-day challenge for you. And if you decide, hey, I want to talk to Rhonda, I want to work with you more, great. Then we offer a one-time strategy call during the challenge because you're going to need it. Add that on, and I'll talk to you about how you can work with me further. But you got to start here, because I need someone to take action first before they say, I'm going to do it, because you're one or two people. You're going to talk about it. You're going to be excited. You're not going to take action. You're an action taker. You're going to go, let's go. That's people I love. Like, that's my game. That's what I do. And it's true. Letitia, she paid $15K for this because she worked with me personally. We built her sales process. We built her funnels, right? She worked with me for 6 months, and now she's my head coach of one of our courses, right? That's what works. So those of you, you do have that opportunity to let me help you build your funnels, build your sales processes, help you launch like a boss in my inner circle. And all we're doing today is talking about a challenge. And I'm excited to have you guys join. So if there's any questions that you may have, please answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to close up the Help Me Rhonda show with this. And remind you guys, if you are going to create a brand, create a sexy brand. And if you're going to be anything, be unstoppable. See you inside the Launch Like a Boss 30K and 30-Day Challenge Mastermind. I'm Rhonda Swan, everyone. Signing out. If you're on the podcast, make sure you join us live because it gets sexy. All right, everyone. Have a great one. Cheers, bye.